Good morning, everybody. Very happy to have you here today. Cheers. That's delicious coffee. By the way, if you want a mug or a coaster to set it on or a pin, they're 40, 30, 25. 2 for $50 on the sets of 4 wooden Ohio-made coasters. Shoot a Venmo over to Brian Engelman. Get yourself a mug, $40, includes shipping. All of that includes shipping. When we cheers, you can have a mug that's the new American media. Black and white and red all over, just like the newspaper used to. So, by the way, are you aware of what's going on with Ukraine and Russia? There are drone strikes that are targeting the power supply this coldest month of the year. Allegedly an assassination attempt on Putin. Maybe that was something that happened. Maybe it's not something that happened. Maybe it's propaganda to convolute something that did happen and twist it into something else. Maybe it's directionally true, but not exactly true. Maybe it's straight up incorrect. We don't know. Because as we've learned, we don't know anything about the war zones, do we? We don't. It's all propaganda. We need to act like adults and accept that. It's been a very strange couple of years trying to decipher war propaganda, hasn't it? Everybody's an instant expert on Ukraine and Russia. Okay, cool. Cool story. Name me 3 cities. Everybody's an instant expert. Israel, Palestine. Perfect. That's fantastic. I'm glad everyone has such an opinion. But that's a story going on, and we. Hi, Nimbus, you coming up? Come on. Let's go. Whew. It's getting tougher and tougher for him to make these jumps. I'm telling you, he's. You know, and if you're watching Scott Adams, you're watching him waste away. He says this month might be the transition month. All of his signs and symptoms are fairly obvious. Scott Adams might be leaving. Prayers for strength and peace over there. Yeah, Nimbus doesn't jump like he used to. Maybe some of you don't jump like you used to. Here, I want to get to your comments, so let me hurry up and get to the opening of the show. As Nimbus sits down and says, Dad. What's he want? He wants a hat? Okay. Hey, you want to muzzle the hat? There you go. You going after the hat? No, okay, there you go. Do that on the computer stand and knock the computer around. He's doing it on my left hand right now, but this is what he does. He'll nuzzle. He licked my thumb. What follows that is a bite. He's a very predictable 19-year-old gentleman, distinguished gentleman. He can be very loving. He's very interesting. All of our pets have personalities, you know. It's just, you know, you're supposed to spend some time with them, get to know them, let them get to know you. It's a good relationship to have. Kind of like regulars in a bar. See, I knew it. He nibbled, and he doesn't like chomp down almost ever, but he definitely nibbles my hand. He definitely took a bite. And usually I pop him, Because he knows he's not supposed to do it, but it's in his instinct. He can't help himself. Maybe that's what we're discovering at our America's 250th birthday, is that humans can't help ourselves. If you can steal, you will. Look at Minneapolis. Look at Columbus. Look at the Democrats. Look at the deep state. Look at 38 trillion in debt. Sure we are. Look at the banksters. Look at 1913. Look at the IRS. Look at the income tax. The Anti-Defamation League. Woodrow Wilson. Look at all the stuff that happened. The Titanic. 1948. The Rothschilds. Look to all of the things. Look to the systems that exist and ask yourself, for what fucking reason does any of this stuff exist in this current form? For what reason? Other than inertia at this point. It's not a superior operating system. It's in fact destroying us. It's painful on a daily basis. So as we enter a new year, we have to figure out what type of year do we want it to be. Well, unfortunately, the Ohio State Buckeyes, I called it, instead of Happy New Year, I said Crappy New Year. Buckeyes were outplayed. Somewhat close game, but another missed field goal, missed opportunities, a big, terrible pick six interception by rookie Julian Sayin. Buckeyes doomed us against the Miami Hurricanes to advance. Now, of course, as I told you, I do the Unhappy Hour Sports Show, and we have an upcoming show this afternoon. I hope you all swing over. It's called Strictly Football. Myself, Mike Barra, Jim Mitchell, Ezrael Robinson. We're going to preview the upcoming week in the NFL because the playoffs have officially begun. Not officially, but yes, officially. There are two games that determine two remaining spots. And then, of course, the seeding of where people are going to be ranked and who are they going to play. Will it be at home or away? There's a lot that's at stake this weekend. We love talking football. It's a nice distraction from this stuff. But sadly, the Buckeyes got beat. So now we have to ask ourselves, is Ryan Day any good? He won the national championship and you thought so, but lost to Indiana, now lost to Miami after playing a bad first half against that team up north. How much was Brian Hartline responsible for the offensive success? Now that Ryan Day took over the play calling, we're not doing well. Not well enough, especially when you have NFL caliber talent on your roster. Really, there is no excuse. So those are issues I'm going to dig into on the Unhappy Hour. But for now, let's officially launch the show. Pull your comments up and get this party started. Broadcasting to you live from the Orion Spiral Arm of the Milky Way Galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere outside Columbus, Ohio. My name is Brian Engelman. Today is New Year's Day, Thursday, January 1st, 2026. And this right here is the TNAM Daily Show on the new American media, because the old American media has failed you. We're going to dig into the news. We're going to see what there is to talk about today. And we wish you a happy new year. Nimbus and I do. The happiest of New Year's. As we navigate this experience together, trying to figure out what's going on. Can we improve it? Can we make a difference? Does any of it matter? What happens when we leave this plane? All of those important questions while we spend too much time on politics, and current events, and sports. There's a lot of esoteric questions about what even is this? How did we get here? What happens when we're done here? What matters? I just take as much as I can, like one of the dirtbags? Is there some sort of moral code? Or is the moral code only there to keep the dummies from doing what the people in power are doing, which is robbing everybody blind with zero repercussions and ramifications? Esoteric questions. That's all wrapped in, that's all intertwined with what we talk about here on the TNAM Daily Show. So buckle up. Today's program begins right now.
Your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.
What's up, everyone? And this is he's waging war. I mean, he is nuzzling on everything, stepping on computer keys. He's a Tyrannosaurus over here, knocking stuff over. Oh, goodness. Welcome, everybody. Let's pull up your chat. Hit like, hit subscribe. Copy the show link, share it with a friend. Matt, you said you had some links to some sermons you went to. Tag us on X. Share it at American_media_. Put it out on X. We're going to cover our X stories and our Instagram stories. So follow us on all the platforms. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Truth Social, Rumble, Odyssey, Twitch, Kick, DLive, Locals, and YouTube at The New American Media. We're on Telegram and Signal at TNAM and TNAM Chat. We're on X at American_media_, and subscribe to our podcast at The Agree to Disagree Show on Spotify and Apple. Additionally, it is a new month, which means it is a new... No. Nimbus, over here. Thank you. You jumping down again? Okay. Happy to have you. Comes up and nuzzles or muzzles or whatever you call that on... What do they call it? Nuzzle? But he's also using his muzzle, right? Jeez, he knocked... Oh. These ring lights, they're a beast, aren't they? Oh, I didn't plug in the power. Yeah, I considered going live and streaming the Buckeyes game yesterday. Ultimately decided to just watch it, and it was a tough game to watch. It was very tense. Not a lot of fun. Just couldn't really get it going. Disappointed. But we'll move on from that. It's not a nuzzle. It's a nizzle for shizzle. Oh, shiz. Oh, shizzle. All right, closing up a tab here. Get this off the screen. Okay. Yeah, but if you had some links to some stuff you guys were talking in the comments prior. Yeah, I know, the Ohio State Black Eyes, the Ohio State Yuck guys. Yeah, it was like yuck guys. Did not play fantastic. Miami played very well. Buckeyes just, they didn't come with a strong performance. I mean, what else can I say? Hit like, smash the thumbs up button, however you're watching, by the way. But yes, it is a new year, and it is a new month of metrics, so please consider signing up for at least our free Patreon account. It's free, costs nothing. You can just sign up as a free member, and or to be the member that's in for like $10 a month, $100 a month, $1,000 a month, whatever is comfortable for you. We have that there, as well as you can subscribe to us on Rumble and YouTube for like $5 a month, and then you can also shoot Rumble rants and super chats over on Rumble and YouTube. That all goes into the business fund, and it helps the New American Media operate. And you're like, well, what? It's just, constant. Every couple months or every month, you get a random bill for a few $100 from GoDaddy for web hosting, for yearly services, for X subscriptions, and the Apple subscription you needed for the new device that could handle the broadcast network, with the replacing of the gear that wears out over time. It's like, yeah, there's a moderate break-even cost that you got to get to. And that's not even talking about the job, like earning a living for your stuff. So everything that comes in is super appreciated. from the bottom of my heart, I am so grateful to anyone. But yes, at least sign up for the free version of Patreon. That's the place we'll post stuff, even if the world goes unglued. And it could. And we're censored from social media again. But in the meantime, those are all valid places, as well as Venmo, Cash App, and what was the other one? PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. All scrolling at the bottom of the screen is what I'm getting at. So consider helping your boy out. But yes, if you have some links to share them at American_media_. So I think what we should do now is get into our Instagram feed. Let's share this link with you. This is, what's this guy's name? Andy Frisella. You're seeing a lot of this. You're seeing a lot of this. And it's very appealing, but it's also a way that you could use disgruntled MAGA against MAGA. So I'm kind of suspicious about all this stuff coming up. January begins the first year that Trump's had the budget that he's needed to operate. But there's a growing discontent in this country. Why are we participating in a rigged system? So take a listen. Tell us what you think, if you agree or disagree with Andy Frisella here.
We are being lied to. And not only are we being lied to, we're being exploited at the highest degree. And then on top of it, we're being replaced with the dollars that we work our fucking asses off to produce for our families. They are taking those dollars, they are bringing in people that fucking hate us, and then they are paying them to be here. And if that doesn't piss you the fuck off, dude, I don't know what will. Because I'm going to tell you this, dude, I've worked my fucking ass off for damn near 30 motherfucking years trying to create jobs and careers and build income and wealth and done all this shit. And these motherfuckers are opening up a daycare and getting 10 million fucking dollars. This is fucking insane, dude.
And with no kids.
If this isn't the breaking point for everybody to stand the fuck up and say enough, then our country is fucking doomed. Period. 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 Okay? Donald Trump needs to feel all the fucking smoke over this. All of it. Okay? He needs to feel all of it over Israel. He needs to understand that he is violating the promises that he has made to the American people. Okay? I've always been a guy that has given that man tons and tons and tons of benefit of the doubt. But at this point in time, that shit is fucking over. And every single motherfucker that ever voted for him or stood with him needs to let him fucking know. He needs to let him hear it. Because, dude, I'm telling you right now, if he doesn't do something about this, and he doesn't start arresting motherfuckers, and he doesn't hold people accountable for the Epstein shit, and for this shit, and for all the fraud, and all the raping that's been going on the American taxpayer for fucking decades, he will go down, and not as the best president, he will go down literally as the man who had the opportunity to save this country and chose not to. We are being lied to. And not only are we being lied to, we're being exploited at the highest degree. And then on top of it, we're being replaced with the dollars that we work our fucking asses off to produce for our families. They are taking those dollars, they are bringing in people that fucking hate us, and then they are paying them to be here. And if that doesn't piss you the fuck off, dude, I don't know what will. Because I'm going to tell you this, dude, I've worked my fucking ass off for damn near 30 motherfucking years trying to create jobs and careers and build income and wealth and done all this shit. And these motherfuckers are opening up a daycare and getting 10 million fucking dollars. This is fucking insane, dude. And
with no kids.
If this isn't the breaking point for everybody to stand the fuck up and say enough, then our country is fucking doomed. Period. 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 Okay? Donald Trump needs to feel all the fucking smoke over this. All of it. Okay? He needs to feel all of it over Israel. He needs to understand that he is violating the promises that he has made to the American people. Okay? I've always been a guy that has given that man tons and tons and tons of benefit of the doubt. But at this point in time, that shit is fucking over. And every single motherfucker that ever voted for him or stood with him needs to let him fucking know. He needs to let him hear it. Because, dude, I'm telling you right now, if he doesn't do something about this and he doesn't start arresting motherfuckers and he doesn't hold people accountable for the Epstein shit and for this shit and for all the fraud and all the raping that's been going on in the American taxpayer for fucking decades, he will go down, and not as the best president, he will go down literally as the man who had the opportunity to save this country and chose not to. We are being lied to.
All right. Yes. Zero accountability. Zero accountability. It's easy to be frustrated. It's easy to be disappointed. You can even understand why people would trust plans, magic plans, phantom plans, magical plans. Oh, trust me, bro, there's a plan. Oh, there's a plan. Is the plan where nothing ever happens ever? Because that plan fucking sucks. No. They got them all. How many fucking years are we on with your plan where, no, bro, just sit down. Just, shh, they're just waiting for the right time. Oh, like the time where they have Congress, the White House, both branches of Congress. No, they need more. They need to also have Mars. Mars doesn't even exist yet. That's what they want you to think. But as soon as we have Mars, the plan will totally work. We're going to hold the people accountable. There's nobody going to be alive that's accountable. You're going to push this off 100 years with your phantom plans. And if that is the plan, call a fucking audible. It's not good enough. You don't keep running the same play if it's not working. You find that you try different things, and when something works, you go back to it. You go back to it again. There is an organized criminal cartel inside America that fucking hates us. You have the tiniest of windows. Fucking act now. Go break this up. Go indict the conspirators. The people that tried to force medicine into you. Fuck it. Go get them. Go indict them. That is a violation of our civil liberties. Zero concern for what flying spaghetti monster in the sky you worship. What your skin color is, what genitals you have, who you prefer putting your genitals upon. None of that matters. Medical freedom or medical tyranny. Go get the tyrants. That is a universal issue that has nothing to do with red or blue, Republican or Democrat. Do it. You want to put things out there as an alternative, as an option to consider, an option that you could be open to being talked into by a medical professional if they want to actually show you the peer-reviewed double-blind studies that can verify or at least conclude to some degree of relative certainty, which is nowhere near 100% safe and effective, which is what we were fucking lied to about. Get the people that violated that. Those civil liberties of ours that were fucked with. Go get the people that were behind that. That's the Amy Acton. That's the Mike DeWine. It's the Joe Biden. There's a laundry list. The Sanjay Guptas, lying, sniveling fuckwad. Sorry, I'm going to be more positive. Vibe check, Kenneth would say. Vibe check. Woosah, woosah. You call an audible if something isn't working, and this isn't working. They say, oh, just wait. Well, now it's January 1st. Now the budget has actually gone through and you can have ICE agents and you can hire more attorneys. And don't worry, bro. Trust the plan. They're totally going to get them. Pam Bondi's totally going to get Comey, Clapper, Brennan, all the fake intelligence agencies that went rogue a long time ago and become domestic terrorist organization, a global terror network operating outside the scope of we the people, effectively fucking with we the people. A rogue organization that seized control of this government in a hostile takeover, a coup, perhaps in 1913, perhaps in 1971, perhaps in 2001, perhaps in 2008. Who the fuck knows what year it exactly was? But we're sure as shit not the country 250 years ago. Benjamin Franklin left as a republic, ma'am, if you can keep it. Now is it? No, we're something else now. And for a brief window in time, we seem to get a lot of the common sense things correct, but we're missing a lot of key points and we're not seeing any action. We're wondering, are you just all actors? Any bite to your bark, President Trump? They fucking shot you in the head. They raided your wife's panty drawer. What the fuck are you waiting for? They tried to throw you in a cage for the rest of your life because you paid a loan back early with a company that said we'd gladly do business with them again. There was no there there. They're actively only campaigning to send political hit jobs, political pit bulls to attack their political opponents. They're fucking domestic terrorists, the Democrat leadership and their foot soldiers. We, the people, need protection from that fucking criminal syndicate, and we need it in the worst fucking way. Who has actually been held accountable? That lady that voted so that they could pass a normal budget and not steal to fake Somali money laundering, she was shaking during her interview about passing the budget. The guy that offed her said that he was paid by Tim Walz to do it. It is a political hit. Somebody shot Trump in the head. Somebody shot Charlie in the neck. Are you fucking paying attention? There is no more waiting. There is no more trusting of a phantom magic pie in the sky plan. You got to go, and you got to go with everything you've got as fast as you can immediately. I don't know how to temper my concern about this. I'm legitimately worried, legitimately concerned. And I think rightfully so. So the frustration has grown. Rightfully so. So this is the new PSYOP. Everybody's saying it. Toria Brooks says, following the recent Somali fraud findings in Minnesota, Americans are calling for a tax strike through 2026. Yes, that would be the perfect way to cripple and handicap the Trump administration. Perfect. Perfect. You would fall absolutely into those plans. Now, if you hear President Trump come out and back this plan, that's one thing. You say, well, no, we're moving in the right direction. We're getting a lot of things fixed. It took decades to make this problem. You can't expect to fix it all within 11 months. To which I say, I'm an intelligent human. I do understand the concept of what you're saying there. I get your point. I hear you. They indicted him with nothing. You can at least do the same. Well, no, if you do it, you're going to screw it up and you'll never get him. Bro, figure it out. It's all so obvious. This shouldn't be a complicated case to put together. Oh, yeah, said by somebody who's never put together one. Guys, it's been a year. Shut up. Just do it. Yep, Toria Brooke. Americans calling for a tax strike through 2026. Are we going to have a 1776 in 2026? Seems fitting for our 250th anniversary. Time to dump tea and flip tables in no particular order. Here for it. I mean, if that is the only way to starve the system, and if that's the plan, then there we are. Ooh, I see the problem here. Somebody switched the button to evil. I think that's an underrated impression. I think I nailed it. Let's see if I can find the clip on YouTube since Kenneth brought it up. I haven't thought about this scene in a while. Somebody switched Trump's button back to evil. There you go. Hang on, I think it'd be better if I minimized that so we can actually maybe play it. Thanks, Kenneth. Yeah, somebody switched Trump's back to evil.
Yep, here's your problem.
Yep, here's your problem.
Someone set this thing to evil.
Someone set this thing to evil. Oh, that's glorious. All right. Thanks, Kenneth. I don't know. I can't quite say that Trump has gone evil, but you know, you're either part of the problem or you're fixing it, and we're just not seeing enough action. Jack Unheard posted this. Oh my word, this might be the most damning video for the Somali community. A Somali just covered her mouth in shock when she accidentally read. Watch this weird clip.
If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand fraud is bad. If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand fraud is bad.
Did you watch this all day?
If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand fraud is bad.
Fraud is bad. I'll leave a fraud is bad button. Pretty obviously she went to the Leering Center. Okay. Here's Nick Shirley.
They can come and censor you. However, with Elon buying X, it really leveled out the playing field, and it made all these other social media companies get to.
There's too much music there. Nick Shirley credits Elon Musk for saving free speech in America and forcing other platforms to follow X's lead. Nick is 100% right. Without Elon, Instagram would be censoring us and you wouldn't see this video. Let's see. Go full max. button. Time to go full max. We got one little window here. This is it. That's why I've been all in on this. This is our last exit ramp. According to Breitbart here, Democrat corruption and fraud never ends. A report from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, finds that the Biden administration's rental assistance program paid billions of dollars in taxpayer funds to dead tenants. According to HUD's agency financial report for fiscal year 2025, roughly 30,000 dead tenants and thousands more potential non-citizens received rental assistance, with one HUD official telling the New York Post that a large concentration of those funds went to New York, California, Washington, D.C. Deceased recipients allegedly received funds in all 50 states. Massive abuse of taxpayer dollars. This is why people are just done. This whole system, this is not something that works. Just, it's all done. Starve it all. That's, people are saying it more and more right now. This is so fucking corrupt, so insane. And then you try to devalue our currency every fucking year so that nothing pays for anything. You know how easy it was to get by in 1995? How cheap shit was? And we've just been robbed blind for 30 fucking years. Massive abuse of taxpayer dollars not only occurred under President Joe Biden's watch, but was effectively incentivized by his administration's failure to implement strong financial controls, resulting in billions worth of potential improper payments, HUD Secretary Scott Turner told the New York Post. The report compared the U.S. Treasury database to HUD's records, which allegedly found 30,054 deceased tenants who were either actively enrolled in rental assistance programs or had received assistance after they passed. Well, okay, so was that one check? But that should be a part of it. You should be notified every month. There needs to be a system in place, along with the possibility of problematic payments through its own internal financial review and analytics. It just gets worse by the day, says Danik. Biden's unaccounted for money will end up being in the trillions. Oh, yeah. Tenants, yeah, meaning kickbacks to themselves and friends. I'm going to say, psst. The U.S. is not in 38 trillion debt. It's all fake. Psst, the U.S. is not in $38 trillion debt. It's all fake. It's all illegal. It's all garbage. Alan Jacoby says, a month ago, politicians in D.C. were telling Americans we would have to move the retirement age to 70 because Social Security was going bankrupt. Remember that? That is why everyone involved in taxpayer fraud needs to be punished. No exceptions and no mercy. They want you working an extra 5 years when you're starting to fall apart, 65 to 70, because Social Security is going bankrupt. Oh, is it now? Oh, is it? Or is it being robbed blind? Are we the people being robbed blind? So come on. Yes, happy New Year to David Ban. Welcome to the chat, along with Kenneth and Danette and others. Hit like, hit subscribe, please. The Maverick approach says, I think this is a dump of a few different memes here. Word on the digital street is that everybody is planning not to pay taxes. I like this version of America, says the Maverick approach. Thrilla, the gorilla, says the biggest scam in life, paying taxes on money you make, taxes on money you spend, and taxes on things you own that you already paid taxes on with already taxed money. This is fucking insane. Also, that you can fund people to sneak into your country who hate you, to steal your money, and then claim this is all necessary. No, it's not. None of this is necessary. This is not necessary. This is theft. This is a con job. Tanya Nuri, what is this, AP? Pentagon fails financial audit for the 8th year in a row. Okay. Well, how about choke on it then? Kenneth pointing out it's 111, Make-A-Wish. If you're on the East Coast, it's 111. For the 8th year in a row, the Pentagon has failed an audit. So choke on it. Fuck off. Like, open up a daycare with it. What do you want from us? What do you, okay, so what? Why are we doing this? Why are we participating in any of this? It's a very palpable energy. It feels very good to explore this. I'm just warning you that in this year, that is allegedly pretty much going to be the last chance for President Trump to create a strong America, dominate the midterms, and go apeshit in year 3 on the bad guys. That we need more people in positions of power to expand the margins, either nuke the filibuster, and that's how far is this going to get if we have voting systems that are absolutely compromised, where you don't have to prove your qualifications to vote, to prove your citizenship to vote. I mean, this is maybe the most important year in American history, our 250th. If we don't fix our voting, I mean, we're going to lose every city, right? You just assume the corruption is so blatant. Oh, magical mail-in votes. Oh, look at that. Shocking. Oh, hold on. Let's let the computer tell us who won. No. How about paper ballots, one-day voting? Make it a national holiday. Move president. A lot of people said, make President's Day on the voting day. Every year, it'll be a national holiday. No excuses. Get in. Go vote. No work. A lot of people said it couldn't be done. I said, I got it. President's Day on election day. I like that. I think it's a great idea. President's Day on voting day. It's a holiday. Oh, I had to work. The lines were so long before work. Make it a national holiday. Fine. And it's one-day voting. Show your credentials that prove that you're a U.S. citizen. Cast your vote in paper. Do a thumbprint. Hand the piece of paper into a box. Have the boxes be tabulated by one Republican, one Democrat, and one non-affiliated independent. They triple verify and they put their stamp on, their individualized stamp. All the papers are watermarked and numbered, barcoded on the blockchain. Whatever the fuck you need to do, you just have a basic election. And when you count stacks of 100, you go, yep, 70, 25, 5. Yep, I got it. Double stamp, triple stamp, confirm. You put it in the machine, it goes, sp. It vacuum seals it. You put it in the box is scanned. The box goes into the back room. The box is sealed, and that room is 24/7 video surveillance for any potential recount purposes. It's been triple verified on video the whole time. If you're not doing that, it's not a fucking vote. Oh, look, I got millions in the mail. No, you didn't. Did you show up in person? Did you show up in person and vote? If there are 17 invalids that need to vote, yes, we will figure that out with stringent guidelines. We will go to that person with a check and a double check to collect one ballot in person. But what about our military members? Yes, our military members should all have their votes in early, immediately. They have the most encrypted, powerful communication systems on Earth. They can communicate the votes. You can have a Republican, a Democrat, an independent. You can have it on film. You can show the counting and show the tabulation of each stack of 100. And there will be a video that lives on that shows 3 people verified this from the votes that were cast that day. Here's the tally. Oh, look. Well, I don't know if we can declare a winner. There might be more in somebody's trunk. Nope, it ain't happening. Well, look, we ran it twice through the machine. Nope, sorry. It's rejected because they're all watermarked. They all have an individual unique barcode and a number on them. Okay. If we don't nuke the filibuster to get fair elections, can we even trust what happens at the midterms? These people that have been flooded into this country to overthrow this nation, to steal your money. Fraud, fraud, scam, scam, fraud, fraud, scam, scam. Everywhere you fucking look. So, what do you do with that? Well, I'd say what you do is you look at the Pentagon failing a financial audit for the 8th year in a row and go, oh, it's real tempting to see where they're coming from with this tax holiday thing. And just say, none of this works. None of this money's real. And it's starting to feel like we're living in some sort of messed up simulation where none of this shit is real. None of this money's real. None of these audits are real. None of these organizations are real. None of these needs are real. And I think that's the part that some people get wrong when they're talking about conservative versus liberal or something. It's not even that the things we think, the ways that we feel are all that different in many cases. It's that people on the right see every expansion of government is just an invitation for more of this shit. Where a military industrial complex can't even get their numbers right. What are we doing? Is it all just theft? It's all being we're all just being lied to. And every trillion that's printed, it makes the money that you have go down in value. $400 at the grocery store, that used to be 4 months worth. One trip to the grocery store with a couple of real ingredients. Some organic grass-fed ground beef. $10 a pound, $9 a pound. Are you shitting me? Just buy the cheap shit. Just trying to buy food, just trying to buy real food. Don't need caviar. Don't need to swim around in caviar like Scrooge McDuck spitting gold coins. Ground beef is not a lot to ask. $10 a pound, $9 a pound. And you just keep asking yourself, is it really that these other things they cost so much more than they used to? No, it's that our dollar is being destroyed, devalued intentionally. So if this whole system came down, would that be a bad thing? Hasn't President Trump talked about that, replacing the income tax with tariffs? Kind of like the way it used to be, and all this built-in opportunity for theft, fraud, and abuse, waste, graft, grift, scheming, lying. It wouldn't work under that other system. So there's no funding for it. You starve it of its oxygen. It can't continue. A fire cannot grow without oxygen. It needs the fuel to feed its destructive desire. So starve it. Pentagon fails financial audit for 8th year in a row. Fuck you. Old State Saloon says paying taxes equals participating in fraud. Ooh, so now it's a moral issue. There's a lot to unpack there. Maverick Approach says, hey, U.S. national debt, $38.5 trillion. Sure. How much of this is just fraud? All of it. If you don't have the money for it, it's not real. It's not real. Let them choke on it. At some point, you have to blame the lenders for ringing up a debt that you know can't be paid back. There's limitations. Well, we just, sort of slipping into a Jordan Peterson. You know, why is it that universities who crank out angry, violent Marxists who don't have discernible life skills, they can take out a loan for $200,000 to learn nothing of value, and then they are guaranteed that that debt can follow that person around forever? That's not right. The lenders need to determine if it's a smart investment to give you 4 years to dick around on a college so that you can money launder that all throughout the dopey Marxist indoctrination camps that are masquerading as higher education facilities, supposedly teaching learning and critical thought, reasoning. At some point, the responsibility would be on the lender for lending too much money to a stupid person who doesn't have a good plan, who will not be able to pay this back. If they declare bankruptcy, then that bad investment should disappear, but it doesn't. It doesn't. You catch them at 18 and you get them in the system, and then you bribe them constantly by saying, we'll pay for your college. It should be free university. Yeah, we need more Marxist indoctrination and brainwashing. No, you don't. You need less. Starve it of its oxygen, its funding. If you give someone an 8-year free reign to ring up $200,000 in debt with a gender studies degree or something just to make them an angry, divisive, like someone that went to the Barack Hussein Obama political school of divisive racial grift, and you just get out and you're just angry and you're looking to gripe about things everywhere. You're looking for problems under everything's a microaggression and nobody likes you. You have no skills. You can't earn a living because nobody wants to be around you. Why shouldn't the lender be responsible for that? Let the person declare bankruptcy and walk away scot-free. You're the idiot that loaned them money with no plan. Well, the plan was they were going to go in there and just get angry and come out and be angry and poor. It's not a good plan. So, I mean, we do need to investigate. How much of this national debt is fraud? All of it? Here's Americans' reaction to a 2% tax in 1775. You see that? Revolution. Americans' reaction to a 40% tax in 2024. Yeah, nothing, just dicking around on my phone. Distracted. Paul says they convicted Al Capone with less evidence than they currently have on Tim Walz and Minnesota politicians like Ilhan Omar. They convicted Al Capone with less evidence than they currently have on Tim Walz and Minnesota politicians like Ilhan Omar. Battle Beagle says, put me in charge of deportations. I would just do things, ignore judges. I'd deport illegals to random countries, blame it on paperwork issues or lack of literacy on my part. Do you agree or disagree with Battle Beagle, who wants to be put in charge of deportations because he would just do stuff, ignore judges, deport illegals to random countries, blame it on paperwork issues or lack of literacy on my part? Just do things.
It is about loving our home.
What is this? It's not about... Here, let's start from the top. I can't play because there's music. It's about loving our home, where we came from, loving your hometown, your childhood, your mother, your father, your grandparents. It's about revering them, having enough respect and love for your parents, for your mother and father, not to destroy the civilization of them and their ancestors. What was the beginning of this? It's not about hating anybody. It is about loving our home, loving where we came from, loving your hometown. Politics Video Channel says this man ran a $1.2 billion nursing home fraud scheme and was pardoned by Trump. Before you ask, yes, he obviously is a dual citizen. And before you ask, yeah, it's that country. Huh. All right, what's this post here? Be MAGA administration. Control all branches of government. Most powerful military in the world. Can wage war without congressional approval. See Korean War, Vietnam War. Currently raining hell on Venezuela, just cuz. See Patriot Civilian doing real journalism, uncovering extensive fraud to the tune of billions. Praise Patriot Civilian. Well, can you guys arrest someone? LMFAO. We good, dog. Send 25 servicemen to arrest Tim Walz challenge. Impossible. Harmeet Dillon wants to sue the ass off anti-Semitic activists. Special mention of Harvard. Okay. Dave Smith. Met him a few months ago. I do need to get him on Agree to Disagree. I need to reach out to him again. Take a listen to what he has to say about Tim Walz and what they've been up to.
Refugee crisis. Then they decide, against the will of the American people, to have this open border policy. You ship in millions of people from this third world country. Then they get fucking Tim Walz has a policy where they get government ID and they can sign up and they can start defrauding the government. And then if one of the Americans happens to mention that they have a problem with this, like go, hey, this is crazy. These guys are, they get called a racist for saying something about it. Again, this is what drives people to take up radical political positions, and not like radical in the good way, like we do, where we're like for radical decentralization or radical liberty or something like that. But this is what leads to a really ugly reaction on the right wing, because this is just too intolerable. Like, you can't do that. They create this refugee crisis. Then they decide, against the will of the American people, to, I mean, look, Minnesota, Minneapolis. I don't know. I'm 42 years old. When I hear the word Minnesota, in my mind, I still think of like the whitest place on earth. Like, I don't know, like just like right. Like, isn't that what it's supposed to be? Now it's a playing ground for like Somali fraudsters. Why would we possibly support that?
Columbus, Los Angeles, New York. This isn't just two places. This is the Democrat plan, because Americans, we obviously aren't on board with any of this shit. So they keep flooding this country with people that they can try to transform into voters by hook or by crook. Emphasis on crook. To keep voting so strongly in these dense blue cities of fraud that they can overwhelm the entire rest of the fucking state who's thinking rationally and voting rationally, but you've overwhelmed the system so much with your Cloward and Piven strategy of fraud that you steal the country. Minnesota is a conquered state. 2% of our American 50 states are now conquered by a foreign country. How many more? How many more have been?
Who would support that? Why is that better? Someone explain it to me. I mean, look, Minnesota, Minneapolis. I don't know. I'm 42 years old. When I hear the word Minnesota, in my mind, I still think of like the whitest place on earth. Like, I don't know, like just like.
So there you go. It's a frustration here. Border Commander Greg Bovino just posted this epic footage of him speaking with a Democrat politician in Chicago during mass immigration raids.
Care of business.
Music.
I'll be here operating in your town. I'm sorry, the taxpayer's town, not your town. And
it's the taxpayer's town. It's not your town. And I'm going to be operating here.
That's what's going to happen. That
I regret to hear that. I'll say it once more.
To happen. You
are going on. Welcome here.
Check yourself.
Check yourself. There you go. I wish there wasn't music so I could play it. Anyway, check yourself. All right. As we're hearing stories about Russia getting attacked by Ukrainian drones, potentially in a attempt to assassinate President Putin. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? It's war. It's all propaganda. Can't believe any of it. But you can talk about what people are talking about. Oh, what do I know? Iran. Something is happening in Iran. Is this a good thing in Iran?
Happening right now in Iran is one of those moments where silence becomes complicity. For days now, people across Iran have been protesting, openly defying a regime that has ruled them through fear, violence, and repression for 47 years. Now, I'm not here speaking to you as a politician or some sort of pundit. I'm speaking to you as a Jewish gay Iranian, someone whose family has been directly affected by the regime in Iran, which murders gay people and subjugates religious minorities.
A Jewish gay Iranian.
I likely wouldn't be alive today if my family hadn't left because of the regime the people of Iran are fighting against right now. The people of Iran are fighting with everything they have against security forces who know no bounds in their evil. We've already begun to see brutality, tear gas, bullets, and still the people are not stopping. If you care about LGBT rights or women's rights or religious freedom, ethnic equality, peace in the Middle East,
what if you care about stopping Sharia everywhere, always?
Fighting anti-Semitism or stopping global terrorism, this is your issue too. If you care about justice, about human rights in any capacity, this is the time to speak up. The people of Iran have been held in a chokehold for nearly half a century. The boiling point has been reached. They're demanding freedom and an end to the regime which is occupying their land and their lives. So please, speak up for the people of Iran. Let them see that you care. Rise up for Iran. What's happening?
And you were hearing rumors that there would be another U.S.-involved strike on Iran. Show me where the congressional approval is for that. You know, I'm definitely supportive in theory of stopping Nigerian Islamic supremacist massacres of Christians. I don't like seeing peaceful Christians get abused anywhere on earth. But by what authority do we have to be dropping bombs? Now, that's a joint military operation with the country of Nigeria. Something like that. You know, you get into the nitty gritty and a lot of these issues get battled out in court. And maybe they're what? They're JAG attorneys that sort all the fine details out. But Iran being controlled by religious zealots that are pushing Sharia, this is not good for Earth. This is not good. Religion is something you come to of your own free will and accord. If you're forced, then it's demonic. It's not just speaking about Islam. That's not just speaking about any particular religion. If it's done under threat or coercion, it's demonic. It's false. That's just true in the human soul. If something's good enough, you're going to find it. You can find it. All right. Let's bounce over to our X feed and see what's going on over there. By the way, hit like, hit subscribe, and right here at the top of this is our Patreon link. If someone wants to sign up to become a monthly Patreon supporter. Danette saying, you know what? You know, that's what they want. They want revolution, though, so they can get martial law and new digital currency. Yeah, it's kind of got to be pretty careful about what's coming around right now. It feels very good to call for a tax revolt because, like, none of this works. I felt the power of it today. It felt very good. So we'll keep our eyes peeled. But yes, there's our Patreon link right at the top here. At least sign up for our free Patreon. And if you're feeling so inclined, consider becoming a monthly subscriber on Patreon. I think they take like 5%. It's maybe the best place to donate, aside from Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal, which I believe 100% comes through. All right. This is hilarious. CBS is making a push. I don't know. I'm going to play this for the comedic value.
A lot has changed since the first person sat in this chair, but for me, the biggest difference is people do not trust us like they used to. And it's not just us, it's all of legacy media. And I get it. I get it because I've been hearing about it from just about everybody for more than 20 years as I've traveled America on this assignment or that. My mom's neighbors in West Virginia, my own neighbors in New York City, thousands and thousands of conversations in between. Sometimes people want to talk to me about our coverage of NAFTA or the Iraq War. Other times it's all about Hillary Clinton's emails or Russiagate. Or more recently, COVID lockdowns, Hunter Biden's laptop, or the president's fitness for office. The point is, on too many stories, the press has missed the story because we've taken into account the perspective of advocates and not the average American.
This guy's so fucking full of it. Saying that they missed the story. You didn't miss the story. You were active co-conspirators in the treasonous coup. There's a big fucking difference.
Or we put too much weight in the analysis of academics or elites and not enough on you.
What a fucking piece of shit this guy is. Oh yeah, it's the academics and the elites that steered us wrong. It was all the experts. No fucking way. Kenneth, because of C. BS? Yeah, BS. CBS, they put the BS in CBS. He puts the BS in CBS. He's trying to make it seem like, oh, the media just missed it, or we were led astray. You were the directors of the play, and you're trying to throw your hands up. What an absolute asshole.
And I know this because at certain points, I have been you. I have felt this way too.
This is so cringe.
I felt like what I was seeing and hearing on the news didn't reflect what I was seeing and hearing in my own life, and that the most urgent questions simply weren't being asked. So here's my promise to you, today and every time you see me in this chair. You come first, not advertisers, not politicians, not corporate interests.
No, your deep state comes first. Your big pharma comes first. The globalist traders in both the Republican and Democrat Party come first. You're just a mouthpiece for the lies. No. The way you couched it and framed it is all that you need to hear. Acting like, oh, woe is us. You know, sometimes the academics and the experts may have led us astray. You pushed fake narratives that you knew to be fake repeatedly, incessantly for years.
And yes, that does include the corporate owners of CBS. I report for you, which means I tell you what I know, when I know it, and how I know it.
Sure.
And when I get it wrong, I'll tell you that too. It also means I'm going to talk to everybody and hold everyone in public life to the very same standard. After all, I became a journalist to talk to people. I love talking to people about what works in this country, what doesn't, and not only what should change, but the good ideas that should never change. I think telling the truth is one of them. I'm Tony DeCopel, the anchor of the CBS Evening News. Hold me to it.
You're a dope. We said, ha, 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 like when you spent your energy trying to debunk Nick Shirley. That was this big CBS thing that they put out yesterday. They spent their energy trying to debunk Nick Shirley instead of proving the rampant deep state Democrat money laundering, fraud, and treason that's been exposed in Minneapolis, Columbus, and all across America. Yeah, legacy media has zero credibility, merely deep state mouthpieces. Ugh, Guy's so full of it. Elon says there's some powerful words here. Common sense dose.
I want to talk about how the average American is starting to feel as major corruption is being exposed, especially now with the case in Minnesota and the daycare fraud. This is not just about money being stolen anymore. It's about a growing feeling that being a good citizen, being a hardworking person, paying your taxes may not be worth it. People are starting to feel stupid. They think, well, I'm here, I'm playing by the rules, I am working hard, I'm providing for my family, I'm doing the hard work, and I'm the idiot. You see the memes online and we laugh, like, oh, me on my way to work, thinking that I should have just opened a daycare center in Minnesota and made millions. And again, it is funny, but it's also deeply sad. Because the next thing is, why am I even doing this? And that's the part that no one wants to talk about, because this kind of feeling shapes culture. I come from Brazil, as you know, and in Brazil we have this thing we call the Brazilian way, which is the idea that there's always a shortcut, there's always a loophole, a way to take advantage of a situation. And people think it comes out of nowhere. Oh, it's just the Brazilian way of living. No, this comes from years of Brazilian people being robbed and nothing being done with the thieves. So we now think that survival means cheating the system before it cheats you. Eventually, people stop believing that being honest is rewarded.
Yep.
When a society teaches its citizens that being honest makes you a loser, well, that's really dangerous. You don't just lose money. You lose trust. You lose dignity. You lose the culture that holds it all together.
Yep.
And once that's gone, it's
gone.
really hard to get back.
Yeah. Don't worry. It happened again about the Minnesota fraud. Check this out. Was this NBC legislators, providers speak out about the fraud in Minneapolis?
And I do see some signs over here that say stop fraud, and I agree, stop it. There are wait lists for these programs that are years long. There is fraud, and I do see.
There is fraud. She covered her mouth. She couldn't. She's like, uh-oh, I was told not to say there's not fraud.
There is fraud. And I do see some signs over here that say stop fraud. There is fraud. There is fraud.
They can't even get these words out of their mouth without their conscience betraying them. Twice now, they mentioned fraud. The Illumination of America is at the Washington Monument, celebrating 250 years of the United States. Looking forward to our next incredible chapter.
Not as an idea invented in the minds of men, but as a land discovered.
It's music, so I can't really play it. But here. It's illuminated with all sorts of different things as they tell the story of America. It's pretty cool. Washington crossing the Delaware. I don't know what that is. But it's pretty neat to broadcast a story up there. It's a strange canvas to play upon. Well, why not? Why shouldn't we do that every night? That's cool. They do it in Vegas. Do it in DC. So check that out. That's 17 minutes, the America story. The Illumination of America. Yeah, here's the other Freudian slip. I think she actually walks off stage here.
If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand fraud is bad.
She said fraud is bad and she got the vapors. and fell into the arms of the other lady who said fraud is bad.
If childcare is cut, I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand fraud is bad.
Her eyes darting around. Guilty, 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 guilty. Fraud is bad. I don't think I can speak. Benny Johnson shows a threat of Columbus, Ohio daycare fraud investigation. We conducted a deep dive into publicly funded child care centers in Columbus. The findings were alarming. Strange operating hours, blocked windows, bottom tier bronze ratings, Somali owners, multiple businesses, same building, and much more. It's flooded with pure rot. Eyal Yacobi reporting that Iranians have taken control of the city of Ramhorroz. They are burning down the local Islamic Republic's headquarters, allegedly. Don't know if that's true, but it's definitely on fire. Harmeet Dillon, Attorney General, says any state official who chills or threatens to chill a journalist's First Amendment rights will have some splaining to do. Civil rights takes potential violations of 18 U.S.C. 242 seriously. Govern yourselves accordingly. Libs of TikTok reporting that Washington State Attorney General is now accusing journalists of harassment for investigating fraud and fake daycares. Democrats don't want us uncovering fraud because they're the ones committing it and benefiting from it. Julie Kelly reports that Jack Smith's transcript has been released on his misrepresentations, falsehoods, and straight-up lies told by the special counsel to the House Judiciary Committee on December 17th. Smith had no evidence that any of the so-called classified documents he claimed to have found were in boxes temporarily stored in Mar-a-Lago bathroom after the president left the White House. Lie number 2. Smith was extremely aware of the 2024 election calendar, which is why he took what he himself described as the extraordinary step in asking the Supreme Court to bypass the D.C. Appellate Court, the next normal step, in considering Judge Chutkan's 2023 order denying all forms of presidential immunity from criminal prosecution and take up the immunity question immediately. Guys, this is why you have to destroy what the deep states built themselves into. There is nothing they will not do to keep their fraud in power. They have established and built a gravy train. They are ticks and leeches, defrauding our system, ringing up $38 trillion in debt that none of us have approved, and they will do anything, commit any crime to maintain that power. They have to be dismantled immediately. SCOTUS denied that request, though. Chutkan's order was upheld by a 3-judge panel February 24, which was then considered by SCOTUS in April. On July 1st, 24, SCOTUS issued a decision providing for a broad swath of immunity for acts in office, resulting in a major gutting of Smith's J6 indictment. Lie 3, that the unarmed protest at the Capitol on J6 was an attack incited by the president, and the still unsubstantiated allegation that 140 officers were injured by protesters. Keep in mind, Smith's J6 indictment was 4 counts, 2 related to 1512, a corporate fraud statute unlawfully used in J6 cases according to SCOTUS and the Fisher decision, and 2 other very vague conspiracy counts, conspiracy to defraud and conspiracy against rights. Lie number 4. That Trump's tweet at 2:24 p.m. saying Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country somehow endangered Pence's life. Trump did not have to be pushed by staff to denounce the escalating chaos. This is beyond a lie pushed by Liz Cheney and others. This is a lie pushed by Liz Cheney and others, here repeated by Jack Smith, that the president delayed saying anything to stop his supporters from doing anything bad. The first breach into the Capitol happened at 2:12 p.m. About 25 minutes later, Trump posted his first of several tweets and videos asking for people to stay peaceful and respect police. Lie number 5. Twitter, which had been recently purchased by Elon Musk, did not refuse to comply with Judge Beryl Howell's egregious non-disclosure order in Smith's pursuit of the president's Twitter data. She set an unreasonable deadline to produce the file, and as Twitter sought relief from D.C. appellate court, Howell, the Trump-hating Obama appointee, was upheld by 1 Obama and 2 Biden appointees, then fined Twitter $350K for an alleged 55-hour delay in producing the data for Smith. She also suggested Musk was trying to get in good with Trump by fighting the NDO. And Howell did not just find obstruction in her justification for issuing the NDO, non-disclosure order, I believe. Yeah, non-disclosure order. What obstruction Smith is referring to in the J6 case is anyone's guess. Smith at first claimed Trump was a flight risk, one of 5 factors necessary under the Stored Communications Act in authorizing an NDO for a subpoena issued to a communications provider in seeking the NDO. In a hearing on the matter, Howell openly mused that Trump owned his own plane and could flee the country if he found out about the subpoena. Both later claimed it was done in error. The NDO, however, argued Trump would destroy evidence or tamper with witnesses if Twitter disclosed the subpoena to him. It was in effect for a year. Although the all-Democrat appellate panel upheld Howell, 4 conservative appellate judges later blasted Howell and their colleagues for ignoring executive privilege protections in the case. Lie number 6. No, a former president is not just any normal person when it comes to certain records and documents. In fact, a NARA official testified that every president has kept classified records. Smith's prosecutors had to admit to Judge Cannon in the Docs case that this was the first time a high-ranking elected official had been charged with espionage. That's the extent they went to try to keep their schemes in place, people. Charging President Trump with espionage for having alleged classified papers. There was nothing normal about the documents investigation prosecution. Further, the SCIF in Miami was not convenient for the president or his team of lawyers. Also, if I recall correctly, Smith's team insisted on being near or inside the SCIF when the president and or his team viewed sensitive evidence. What Smith is suggesting here, and what his team also tried to do with no success, was force the president and his lawyers to travel to D.C., where the documents case inappropriately was investigated before Smith's switched venue at the last minute. But again, if memory serves, Judge Cannon directed Smith to make classified discovery available in Florida. So all of that is going on. Played this yesterday. The Somalians and the Democrats are so mad. People are sick and tired of this happening inside their own state, but he's facing serious threats after exposing billions of dollars. And remember, they killed the last lady that voted against the Minnesota theft. I believe the guy that did it said that Tim Walz paid him to do it. Did anyone want to think about that story? Nick Shirley says, this is not a joke. They actually want to K me. In all seriousness, please include me in your prayers. This is going to be you on April 27th, 2026 in a muddy ditch alongside the highway, says this Joey Mountains. Enjoy your last couple of months, buddy. See that? This is who the Democrats are. They're a domestic terrorist organization. We've been warning you about this for a very long time. They have to be dismantled. Harvard University called for the abolishment of the white race in their magazine. Make no mistake about it, we intend to keep bashing the dead white males and the live ones and the females too, until the social construct known as the white race is destroyed. Not deconstructed, but destroyed, says this demon. Go to hell, Harvard. Richard Gunnell says the media tried to pretend that some main event at the Trump Kennedy Center. Their main event sold out, the Speakeasy, so there were conflicting stories there. Libs of TikTok received a message from a TSA agent in Phoenix who says a Somali man with Minnesota driver's license flies through Phoenix every 7 to 10 days with a suitcase of around $250,000 cash. He tells agents that families in Minnesota send cash back home to Sudan and Somalia through Dubai, and he is a registered courier. I have the passenger's name. If anyone from the Transportation Department or FBI want to investigate, you can reach out. Oh my God. Clandestine says, holy schlit. Trump said he is removing the National Guard from Chicago, Los Angeles, and Portland, but says he will come back, perhaps in a much different and stronger form. He is talking about sending an active duty military via the Insurrection Act. And by the way, if you don't consider the hostile takeover of our schools, our media, our government as an insurrection, then nothing qualifies. Of course it's an insurrection. It's an overthrow. And I think the new Trump funding kicked in 12 hours ago. So Clandestine thinks that he's talking about sending in active duty military via the Insurrection Act. This comes after the Supreme Court ruling in Trump admin v. Chicago, where they ruled that Trump was not allowed to send National Guard troops to Chicago to defend federal buildings. But Kavanaugh outlined in his opinion that Trump would be allowed to send active duty U.S. military into Chicago via the Insurrection Act. We are one step closer to Trump invoking the Insurrection Act. So, let's see how that shakes out, shall we? Happy New Year's, everyone. We'll be doing a show at 3 o'clock, strictly football. So we got about 90 minutes. We'll be doing that. Getting ready for a big, big, big year. So buckle up, everyone. Thanks for being here. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the show with a friend. Tell some of your smart friends to jump in and join the show with us. We're definitely interested in growth this year. Consider signing up on Patreon or Rumble or YouTube to be a $5 or $10 monthly subscriber on the low end. Free. Sign up for the free one on Patreon for sure. And at least subscribe to us on Rumble and YouTube as well. Where if you let the advertisements play, it's like tossing a penny in the wishing well. It all adds up. Hundreds of views, thousands of views, tens of thousands of views, millions of views. It all starts adding up a little bit. And the more we expand, the more we can get together and talk about the things going on in the news. And we'll try to have a good conversation about it and think about it the right way. And break it down. Provide some original, unique, transformative analysis. Take your comments and questions and jokes. That's what we do here. That's why we appreciate every one of you taking some time to join us. But yeah, give us about 90 minutes. And wait, is it 2 o'clock? Is it really 2 o'clock? Give me 60 minutes. And we'll be back with Strictly Football. All right. Signing out from everybody out there in the TNAM universe. I appreciate you. I love you. And we'll talk to you again soon. See you in an hour, everybody. Peace.
Your guide to the truth. The new AmericanMedia.com.